what is your strong suit, what is your superpower, so that you
That's
can
right.
know what type of investment. It could be wholesale, it could be flipping, it could be helping people unclaim funds or achievements from that angle, or raising capital from others to get into other deals as well. So once you're able to know like where your strong suit is, then put all that effort to that point where you may not have to pull your own capital in order to do it, especially if you got limited funds in your retirement account, which you're most likely not going to be able to use without some type of tax implications to it. So that's typically how we want to work with people, like building that relationship, building that rapport. Any advisor, whether legal advisor, tax advisor, custodian advisor, like anyone should be wanting to build that relationship first to know what you're looking to accomplish and the type of person that you are before just spouting out a whole bunch of different tips at that point.
Welcome to the Nicholas Brown Podcast, a podcast talk show about real estate investing, business leadership, and personal development. Each week, we explore current real-life case studies about how to build financial independence through investing in real estate to build your personal portfolio through passive income models, along with interviews from the top business leaders and personal development leaders. Now, here's your host, Nicholas Brown.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. We got another episode, extended episode. This is part 2 of 3 series where I have my special guest, CPA Larry Pendleton. He's a CPA expert. He specializes in real estate investors and those who have actually the purpose of this. This is an introductory episodes on off, and the series is for cash flow. So basically, we're focusing on my demographics, as we say before. The purpose of this too, while I'm drawing those, you have either a 401k savings and or a retirement savings, but you want to lead to passive income. But it's all about what I want to teach you, and the purpose of these episodes is to build your teams, because you can't do it. As Larry said before, listen or watch. Make sure you subscribe, listen and watch. He's getting you prepared, because everyone's situation is different. So that's the purpose of this. It's just an introductory. So we're going to have a bonus if you're part of that new newsletter. He's going to have a bonus guide, which is this, as we say, it's a prep guide to have for your CPAs, whether you get with Larry or anyone else. It's going to help you as a real estate investor with 401k retirement savings to be more prepared, because I always says preparation determines your destination, and he'll get you there a lot quicker for the source. So as we begin, welcome again, Larry. Welcome to the show, sir.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you again, sir. So how's things been so far since we last met?
Rolling along, starting to dig deeper into the note investing world a bit, and also some seller financing to find ways to be more passive, and at the same time, like be able to keep people in their homes instead of possibly getting foreclosed on. So definitely a lot of good opportunities out there. Like, even though people is concerned about the market, it's just you just have to shift your strategy. But then within real estate itself, and there's so many different strategies to choose from.
Okay, so I heard a little kind of creative way of investing. So you're dealing with people that's going through foreclosure, or are you taking over the notes, or
Yeah, I mean, whether they're going through foreclosure or there's a performing note, they're making all their payments. We're just, like I said, I mean, truly being the bank is kind of the way to go
that's right?
this particular time. So it's like, hey, we can acquire the debt without all of the hassles of actually owning the property. There's definitely a good arena to be in, especially trying to leverage that, match it up against actual owning real estate as well.
Right.
Just kind of playing both, having the actual tangible property as well as the intangible as well.
Hey, listeners, interested in retirement planning? Whether you've got a 401k, no savings at all, or you're somewhere in between, we've got you covered. Subscribe to our retirement planning newsletter for expert tips and insights. Secure your future today. Click the link in the show notes. Because, ladies and gentlemen, he's controlling the note also. He's in control of the note. Am I correct? But you're making it a win-win situation for those who's either going through foreclosure or pre-foreclosure. So that's one structure that he'll explain in time to you. But the purpose of this here, which we're going to get to it, is, Brother Larry, we normally, at the time of playing right here, as we start this season 3, most people are coming at the end of the year, and you, that's a professional CPA, what are normally the things you come across? What are the main things that you normally come across? Could you tell us some tax efficiencies that a person with a 401k or retirement income that's interested in real estate investing, or either as we said before on a previous episode, either new, medium, or sophisticated? What's some frequently asked questions or the tips you suggest?
Yeah, one question that we typically get a lot is like, they have retirement funds from a previous employer,
Okay.
but it's kind of just sitting there, and they don't know what to do with it from that standpoint. And most likely, you're going to be limited to the type of investments, if especially one of the larger custodians, retirement custodians, you're probably just stuck with stocks and bonds investing. But so we try to help those and get those connected to
Like Nate, some
like Nate,
example, you can set the directed IRA structure.
things gets moved over to the directed IRA. So it's a tax-free rollover at that point. And then you're able to invest in other things like real estate and other businesses that you can grow your nest egg with from there. So that's one question that we get quite a bit. We also like, hey, can I buy this property with this with my retirement funds and live off the cash flow? And it's like, no, that's not, honestly, you can't really do that. That's basically considered as a distribution at that point, because the purpose of the retirement account is like you're separated from it and you're really growing your nest egg along the way. So what we try to make sure we're educating people on, like, hey, if the goal is for cash flow, you have to make sure you have the right type of retirement account that you can possibly loan from, and then invest with those funds. But then you have to make sure you pay that loan back. So you just want, especially if it's your current employer, make sure you talk to your custodian, make sure that that's an option within that retirement account in order to pull funds out to actually, if you're trying to, if the interest rate is going to be 7% on the loan that you pull from your retirement, are you getting returns at a larger yield than that, to ensure that you can pay it back and also put some money in your pocket? So that's also just kind of like, we're not financial advisor, but that all kind of plays a factor, so that you're not pulling money out too soon and then getting hit with the 10% penalty fee, as well as it goes into your taxable income as well. So you almost get hit like twice for pulling out funds too early. A lot of
So
people.
basically, it's about structure. So,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen, what he's pointing at too, what you want to build your foundation. Be patient, because this is a journey. This is a marathon. It's not a race. But prepare your foundation. Before you can't have that roof without the walls. You can't have the walls without the foundation. So you got to build your foundation. This brother here. That's the purpose of this. Also, Brother Larry, Brother Nate, Brother Johnny. This is the purpose. This is introductory. So if you hear his words on there, he's preparing you for your foundation. So, but he wants you to prepare you because, yeah, you're gonna make some money, but you want to be prepared, like the wealthy and those that are prepared. Where, hey, that's a write off, or hey, you don't owe as much. So that's what he's doing. He's structuring you. Whether it's the end of the year or the beginning of the year, middle of the year, whenever you start, that's the purpose that he's telling you, and what to look out for. So one quick question that led to, I'm glad you said that too. And here's a teaser too. Look at the episode with Nate, where he states you can have more than one type of IRA, but once again, that's where you're coming and you're watching these episodes here with, for example, the authority figure Larry, which he's experienced too. He's applied it too in real estate. He's going to guide you right, because everyone's tailored different. So you can have more than one type of IRA, but let's just say you had 3 types of IRAs. You had a HSA, whatever, Roth or whatever, boom. That's where you're coming right back around your team player, which is Larry. It's the structure. Larry and his team, because you're not going to always reach out to Larry. Larry has teams also that experience too, but they're tailored to your needs. Am I correct?
What's going on, family? Johnny Lydham here, the military CEO, and you're rocking with the best with the Nicholas Brown Show. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly it.
So he's going to get you structured on there. But here's the question I'm leading to, Larry. What if yes, you said I can have more than one type of IRA, but what if I really need some money? I want to make some cash. I'm not 59 and a half years old. How can I make money? And what would you suggest that if I had my 401k, I already have retirement account income? Do you have any suggestions that what would you how would you suggest that? Because I get that question often also. But
Yeah,
you're the advisor. And once
yeah,
again, this is disclosed. Deal with a professional, a CPA. This is just tips and advice. It's just entertainment purposes. Go ahead.
yeah. So, I mean, kind of going back to knowing the type of retirement account you got, and then working with the custodian or finding out from the custodian, like, can I take a loan out of these funds? Because if you're just going to pull the money out in order to invest into deals, you're going to be hit with additional taxable income, as well as early withdrawal penalties as well. So, okay, great. Like, you're most likely not going to get a return that's going to exceed that problem, but are you willing to find something that's going to give you a larger yield than the interest rate from then it's no different than going to a bank at that point and trying to get a loan for a property, but then you still got to make sure with that loan with the bank that your returns greater than your interest rate on the loan. Same thing with your retirement account. So if the goal is to make money, get some cash flow going now, get some deals flowing now, then it's okay, great. Like, let me try to um, uh, pull together or meet with my custodian of my retirement account, see how much I can be able to. A lot of times I can do up to 50% depending on if it's the proper account, and it depends on the custodian as well. Some do, some don't. So having those discussions up front and then having an understanding of what you can do so that you can plan accordingly from there.
Special announcement. Interested in retirement planning? Got a 401k? Or no savings at all? We've got you covered. Subscribe to our newsletter for expert tips and insights. Secure your future today. Click the link below. Okay, because here's the purpose too. Let's just say I'm about to come close to retirement, and I need some cash. I only got 50,000 in my account. So I come to you. I was referred to you, Brother Larry. Is the next two or 3 years, man? I was advised, or I want to be aggressive, so I need to flip some properties. I was told I need to make some cash. What would you suggest first? If I can't, I'm just giving a scenario, ladies and gentlemen. This is entertainment purposes also, but he probably gets this often also. So here's an example. How would you suggest me? How would you guide me if I say I need some cash because that 50,000, my goal, Brother Larry, next year I want to double that, at least make 50,000 by this time I talk to you next year, Brother Larry.
Yeah, it's as with most things, like, it's really investing into your education and knowledge of it, because you're just there's so many stories. That's why I tell people, like, yeah, I can just tell you to do things from like, hey, you can pull money here, there, then get into certain investment, but if that's not really fitting to what you're doing, then are you really going to execute the way you need to? Pretty similar to the short-term rental strategy. When people are buying up rental properties, they're trying to make sure they can fit into what the IRS deems to be a short-term rental, whether it's Airbnb, VRBO, and then come to find out that, like, there's a lot of time and effort that takes into being maturely participating with short-term rentals, and then they regret ever doing it. And they said, like I say, first and foremost, before we start figuring out the tax strategy, what is your strong suit? Like, what is your superpower, so that you can know what type of investment. It could be wholesaling, it could be flipping, it could be helping people unclaim funds or achievements from that angle, or raising capital from others to get into other deals as well. So it's like, once you're able to kind of know where your strong suit is, then, like, put all that effort into that point where it's like, okay, you may not have to pull your own capital in order to do it, especially if you got limited funds in your retirement account, which you would not, like, you're most likely not going to be able to to kind of use without some type of tax implications to it. So that's typically how we want to work with people, like building that relationship, building that rapport. Any advisor, whether legal advisor, tax advisor, custodian advisor, like anyone should be wanting to build that relationship first to know what you're looking to accomplish and the type of person that you are before just spouting out a whole bunch of different tips at that point.
Hey everybody, this is Nate Hare, Executive Director at Directed IRA, and you're watching the Nicholas Brown Podcast Show.
Right. Gotcha. Well, before we wrapped up, because man, that was some deep stuff. So leading back to this, discuss the benefits. So basically, everyone's situation is different. Where you always hear that word, which for multifamily, you hear it sometime in residential, cost segregation. Does that happen at this time at the end of the year, or that happen beginning, or does it matter?
I mean, yeah. I mean, a lot of cost segregation companies are trying to push for a lot of those now, so they can get their year-end numbers up from that perspective. But it still depends on, okay, does the deal make sense? So it can still happen this year. If you bought the property this year, it does not have to happen before the end of the year. It just has to be done before you file your taxes. So if you bought something in 2023, and depending on how quickly you get your stuff to your tax preparer for the 2024 filing, your cost segregation stuff can be done before the April 15th deadline, or if you get an extension, it can happen before the 10/15 2024 deadline as well. So just want to make sure that you're working with a reputable cost segregation company, and making sure that you got the right estimates in place, and if the cost of using them are outweighed by the actual tax benefits, because it doesn't necessarily mean that every time cost segregation is done, then it's actually worth paying for. So just make sure that you're running those numbers and knowing the timeline that you have in place, because you do have until you file your taxes to actually use them.
Special announcement. Interested in retirement planning? Got a 401k? Or no savings at all? We've got you covered. Subscribe for expert tips and insights. Secure your future today. Click the link below. Okay. All right. Last question. If I was to just met you and refer to you, what items would I need? What would you suggest if I was a real estate investor with 401k or retirement income, or just want to get, I'm interested in real estate? What would I need from you? What would you suggest to cut your time, or will we be on the same path where we're not going, off? What would you suggest? Because that's part of the guide too.
Yeah, I would mean, and Nick would have my link to my personal page, where
Gotcha.
it's just a book a meeting right now, obviously in the midst as of today, October 4th, with the extension deadline, slots are limited.
That's right.
But it's having that initial call, having that intro discussion, so that I know what you're looking for. I can kind of gauge where you are at this point, so that you're not fully, and those are free. So it's like you're not fully committing cost wise to somebody who's trying to oversell you something. Like the whole purpose is to kind of get to know one another and determine if it's a good fit. And maybe I may have a different referral that may fit to what you're looking for, or you may want to take some more time to kind of get yourself educated on what you're trying to do, whether you're trying to get into flips or get into multifamily, or all the different other aspects of real estate to invest into. So it's very, very important for me just to kind of build that relationship, whether it leads to us working together or not. It doesn't really matter. That okay, you're more informed from that intro call than what you came in with.
Special announcement. Interested in retirement planning? Got a 401k? Or no savings at all? We've got you covered. Subscribe for expert tips and insights. Secure your future today. Click the link in the show notes. Awesome. You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? So basically, I stress this again, everyone's situation is not going to be the same. but he's professional enough and a people person where he'll spend some time, limited time. It may be, cut off to 15 minutes just to get a pretty much rough estimate. Where can we start, or where can I guide you? If I can't guide you, here's the source, because we're here to build the bridge, not burn the bridge. So that's the example there. Great information, Brother Larry. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get prepared. Here's the bonus too. Make sure you go to episode. The next episode is going to be 92. And he's going to get you prepared for the main event. As we say before, get prepared for the end of the year so you can get prepared for the beginning of the next year. So, any last words, sir, before we end this?
No, appreciate you having me again. And yeah,
give them the plug once again. How can they get in contact you with people listening in on this episode?
So I have a link, LINQ app page that will show up in the show notes as well, so that you can book your meetings, listen to other stuff that I've been on, as well as you can reach me with my email, info@pcfsva.com. The best way to kind of reach me at this point to kind of get things kicked off from there. So looking forward to hearing back from anyone that's looking to move forward in life.
Awesome. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. As we end this, always end and set the mindset. Don't condemn, don't complain, because you have a choice to make a change. Have a great day. Thanks
for joining us on the Nicholas Brown Podcast. Make sure to visit our website,
www.nicholasbrownrei.com,
where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Stitcher, or via RSS, so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too.
If you like this show and you're interested in retirement planning tips, then check out our free newsletter located on our website, www.nicholasbrownrei.com/newsletter.
Be sure to tune in for our next episode. And remember, don't condemn, don't complain, because you have a choice to make a change. Have a great day.